Online dating changed everything about how we meet people. It made connection easier, faster, more convenient. But it also made deception easier too. Because behind every profile picture, every message, every promise to meet up, there could be someone completely different than who they claim to be. These 4 stories are about people who learned that lesson the hard way. These aren't just stories about fake profiles or edited photos. These are about real danger, real predators, real moments where trusting the wrong person almost cost everything. Let me tell you what happened to them. Story 1, the concert that never happened. I'm 26 now, and what happened to me 2 years ago still makes me check over my shoulder when I'm walking alone. It started on Bumble in the summer of 2022. I matched with a girl named Ashley. Her profile looked completely normal, maybe even above average. She had pictures from what looked like music festivals, hiking trips, beach days with friends. Her bio said she was 24, worked as a graphic designer, and loved indie music. We started talking and she was perfect, like suspiciously perfect. She liked all the same bands I did. She'd seen half the movies I mentioned before I even finished typing their names. She laughed at my jokes. She asked thoughtful questions about my day. After about 2 weeks of constant messaging, she brought up a concert. One of my favorite bands was playing at a venue about 40 minutes outside the city. She said she'd been dying to see them but didn't want to go alone. I suggested we go together. She said yes immediately. We planned to meet at the venue on Friday night. She said she'd drive separately because she was coming from work, but we'd meet at the main entrance at 7 p.m. I was genuinely excited. It felt like the first real connection I'd had in months. The day of the concert, she texted me all morning. Normal stuff, what she was wearing, how excited she was, how she couldn't wait to finally meet me in person. Around 4 p.m. she sent a selfie. She was in her car, smiling, wearing a black band t-shirt. The photo looked candid and real. I saved it to my phone like an idiot. I left my apartment around 5:30 to get there early. The venue was in this weird industrial area, kind of isolated, surrounded by empty lots and warehouses. I'd been there once before for a different show, so I knew it was legit. I parked in the main lot and walked up to the entrance. There were already people hanging around outside, smoking, talking, waiting for doors to open at 7:30. I texted Ashley that I was there. She replied immediately, almost there. Maybe 10 minutes. I waited. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. I texted again, you close? Sorry. Got stuck in traffic. 5 more minutes. I stood there feeling stupid, checking my phone every 30 seconds. More people started arriving. Couples. Groups of friends. Everyone seemed to know someone except me. At 7:20 I called her. It rang once, then went to voicemail. I texted, hey, doors are about to open. Where are you? No response. I waited until 7:45. Still nothing. I felt embarrassed and frustrated, but I'd already paid for my ticket, so I went inside. The venue was packed. I tried to enjoy the opening band, but I kept checking my phone. No messages. No calls. Around 8:30 my phone buzzed. Ashley, I'm so sorry. I got lost. I'm in the parking lot now. Where are you? I felt a mix of relief and annoyance. I told her I was inside near the bar. She replied, they won't let me in without a ticket. Can you come out and help me? I hesitated. The main act was about to start, but I also felt bad leaving her stranded outside. I made my way through the crowd and went back outside through the side exit. The parking lot was huge and poorly lit. Most of the lights were burned out or flickering. I texted, I'm outside by the side door. Where are you? I'm in the back lot. My car broke down. Can you come help? That should have been my first red flag. But I was young and stupid and convinced myself she was just having a bad night. I walked toward the back lot. It was almost completely dark back there. Just a few cars scattered around, probably staff parking. I texted again. Which car? No response. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around. A man was standing maybe 20 feet away, partially hidden in shadow. He was tall, wearing a dark hoodie, hands in his pockets. You Jake? He asked. My real name. Not the nickname I'd used on Bumble. My stomach dropped. Who are you? I asked. He took a step closer. Ashley sent me. She's having car trouble. Where is she? He gestured vaguely toward the far end of the lot. Over there. She asked me to get you. Everything in my body was screaming at me to run. I'll just call her, I said, backing up. Her phone's dead, he said, taking another step forward. I turned and started walking fast back toward the venue. Hey, he called. Where are you going? I didn't answer. I just walked faster. I heard his footsteps speed up behind me. I broke into a run. I made it back to the side entrance and yanked the door open. I looked back and saw him standing at the edge of the parking lot, watching me. I went inside and immediately found security. I told them there was a guy following me in the parking lot. They went outside to check. When they came back, they said no one was there. I stayed inside for the rest of the show, then left with a big group of people when it ended. When I got home, I checked Bumble. Ashley's profile was gone. I tried calling the number she texted from earlier. Disconnected. I looked at the selfie she'd sent, the one from her car. I reverse image searched it. It came up on an Instagram account belonging to a girl named Emma who lived in Colorado. Someone had been using her pictures to catfish people. The next day, I went back to the venue during daylight. I wanted to see the back lot where the guy had tried to lead me. Behind the back lot was nothing. Just empty field. Then woods. No houses. No buildings. Nothing. If I'd followed him back there, no one would have seen. No one would have heard. I reported everything to the police. They took a statement but said without more information about who was behind the profile, there wasn't much they could do. I deleted all my dating apps after that. And I never went to a concert alone again. Story 2. The video call that changed everything. I'm a 28-year-old woman and I've always been careful online. Maybe too careful. But what happened to me last year proved I wasn't careful enough. I matched with a guy named Daniel on Hinge in March of 2023. His profile seemed legitimate, good photos, detailed bio, verified badge. He worked in finance, loved traveling, had pictures with friends and family. We talked for about 3 weeks before I agreed to meet up. But I had a rule. I always video called matches before meeting them in person. When I suggested a video call, Daniel was enthusiastic. He said he preferred it too, that it was smart and safe. We scheduled it for a Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I got comfortable on my couch with a glass of wine, feeling good about finally seeing him face to face. The call connected. And he was exactly who he said he was. Same face from the photos, same smile. He was sitting in what looked like a nice apartment, bookshelf behind him, everything seemed normal. We talked for almost an hour. He was charming, funny, asked good questions. I felt relieved and excited about potentially meeting him. Near the end of the call, he suggested we meet that Saturday for brunch at a place downtown. I agreed. We said goodnight and I went to bed feeling like I'd finally found someone worth meeting. The next morning, I got a strange message on Instagram from an account I didn't recognize. It just said, "That wasn't him." I stared at my phone, confused. I replied, "What are you talking about?" The account sent me a screenshot. It was from the video call I'd had with Daniel the night before. But it wasn't a screenshot of him. It was a screenshot of me, taken from his perspective. During our call, my blood went cold. The message continued, "His name isn't Daniel." And that wasn't his apartment. I immediately blocked the account and reported it. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. I went back to Hinge and looked at Daniel's profile more carefully. Everything seemed fine. Same photos. Same information. I decided to do something I should have done earlier. I reverse image searched one of his photos. Nothing came up. Then I tried another one. Still nothing. But when I searched the photo of him with his supposed family at a wedding, I found something. The same photo appeared on a Facebook page. But it wasn't Daniel's page. It belonged to a guy named Marcus. And Marcus lived in Seattle. Not here. Not anywhere near me. I felt sick. I messaged Marcus through Facebook explaining what happened. He responded within an hour. He told me someone had been using his photos for months. He'd had multiple people reach out to him saying they'd been talking to Daniel, or Ryan, or Chris. All fake names using his pictures. He said he'd reported it to the police, but they told him there wasn't much they could do unless someone got hurt or money was stolen. "Did you video call with anyone?" I asked him. "No," he said. "I never did." "Why?" I explained about my call with Daniel. There was a long pause. Then Marcus sent me another message. "That's not possible. I never did a video call with anyone. Ever. But I had video called with someone. I saw a person. We talked for an hour." Marcus sent me a link to an article about deepfake technology. How AI could now create real-time video calls using someone's photos and voice samples. But that seemed too sophisticated. Too planned. Unless I went back through my messages with Daniel. Way back to the beginning. I realized something. He'd asked me a lot of personal questions. About where I lived, where I worked, where I liked to go. And I'd answered all of them. He knew my routines. My favorite coffee shop. The gym I went to. The park I ran in every morning. I felt exposed and terrified. I called the police. I explained everything. They told me to document everything and block all contact with the person. I did. But that Saturday, the day we were supposed to meet, I decided to go to the brunch spot anyway. Not to meet him. To see if anyone showed up. I sat in my car across the street from the restaurant at 10 a.m., our agreed meeting time. And I waited. At 10:15, a man walked up to the restaurant entrance. He stood there looking around, checking his phone. He looked nothing like Daniel/Marcus. He was older, maybe mid-40s, heavy, wearing a baseball cap. He stood there for 20 minutes, checking his phone, looking around. Then he left. I sat in my car shaking. That's who I would have met. That's who had been using deep-fake technology to convince me he was someone else. That's who knew where I lived, where I worked, where I spent my time. I moved apartments 2 months later. I changed my routine completely. And I never, ever trust a video call again. Because if they can fake that, they can fake anything. Story 3, the girl who was too perfect. My name is Alex, I'm 30, and I'm still trying to process what happened to me 6 months ago. I've been on and off dating apps for years. I've had good dates, bad dates, boring dates, weird dates. I thought I'd seen it all. Then I matched with Melissa. Her profile was stunning. Not in an Instagram model way, but in an approachable, girl-next-door way. She had photos of herself hiking at coffee shops, with a golden retriever at what looked like family gatherings. Her bio said she was 27, worked as a nurse, loved true crime podcasts, and was looking for something real. We matched on a Tuesday night. She messaged first, which I liked. "Hey, I saw you like hiking. Have you done the trail at Morrison Park?" I had. We started talking about favorite trails, best times to go, what gear we used. The conversation flowed easily, naturally. Over the next 2 weeks, we talked every single day. Long messages in the morning, quick texts during lunch, longer conversations at night. She told me about her shifts at the hospital. I told her about my job in IT. We bonded over shared frustrations with work, similar family dynamics, the same taste in music. She sent me photos throughout the day. Her at work in scrubs. Her dog sleeping on her lap. Her making dinner. Everything seemed real. After 2 weeks, I suggested we meet up. She said yes immediately. We planned to meet at a popular coffee shop downtown on Saturday afternoon. Neutral location, public place, plenty of people around. I was excited. Like, genuinely excited in a way I hadn't been in a long time. Saturday came. I got to the coffee shop 15 minutes early. I ordered a coffee and sat at a table near the window so she'd see me easily. 2 p.m. came and went. 2:15. No sign of her. I texted, "Hey, I'm here at a table by the window." She replied immediately, "I'm so sorry. Running late. Be there in 10. At 2:30 she texted again. "I'm here but I don't see you." I stood up and looked around. The coffee shop wasn't that big. I could see everyone. I'm by the front window. Blue jacket. I'm outside. Can you come out? That was weird, but I went outside. The sidewalk was busy with weekend foot traffic. I looked around. No one matching Melissa's description. I called her. It rang 3 times, then someone answered. But it wasn't a woman's voice. It was a man. "Hello," he said. I froze. "Who is this?" I asked. "This is Melissa's phone," he said calmly. "Who's this?" I'm supposed to be meeting Melissa. Is she there?" "Oh, you're Alex," he said. "Yeah, she can't meet you today. Something came up." "Can I talk to her?" "She's busy right now." "Busy?" "She just texted me 2 minutes ago saying she was here." Silence. Then, "Look, man. She's not interested." "Sorry." The call ended. I stood on the sidewalk, completely confused. I went back inside and sat down. I looked at our text conversation. I scrolled back through 2 weeks of messages. Hundreds of them. Photos she'd sent. Stories she'd told. Details about her life. Was any of it real? I reverse image searched one of her photos. Nothing. Tried another. Nothing. Then I searched the photo with her dog. It came up on a veterinary clinic's Facebook page from 3 years ago. A client testimonial photo. Not Melissa. Someone completely different. I felt sick. I looked at the texts again. The ones from this morning. They were coming from her number. I called it. A man answered. I sat in that coffee shop for another hour trying to make sense of it. Then my phone buzzed. A text from Melissa's number. "I saw you at the coffee shop. You look different than your photos." My stomach dropped. Someone had been there. Watching me. But who? I replied. "Who are you?" "Someone who wanted to meet you." "Why the fake profile?" "Because you wouldn't have talked to the real me." I looked around the coffee shop. At the people sitting at other tables. at the people walking by outside. Was one of them watching me right now? What do you want? I texted. I just wanted to see if we'd work in person. And you're not what I expected. Then nothing. No more messages. I reported it to the police. They said without threats or evidence of stalking, there wasn't much they could do. I changed my phone number. I deleted all my dating apps. And I moved to a different neighborhood 2 months later. Because the worst part wasn't the catfishing. The worst part was knowing that someone had watched me sit in that coffee shop, alone, looking for someone who didn't exist. And I never saw their face. Story 4, the roommate I never met. I'm 24 and I moved to a new city for work last year. I didn't know anyone and I needed to find a place to live fast. I found a roommate wanted ad on Facebook. A girl named Taylor was looking for someone to split rent on a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent area. Her profile looked normal. Mutual friends with a few people I'd gone to college with. Photos from what looked like normal life. Vacations, nights out, family events. I messaged her. We talked for a week. She seemed cool, down to earth, easy to talk to. She sent me photos of the apartment. It was perfect. Affordable, good location, recently renovated. I asked if I could come see it in person before committing. She said she was out of town for work but would be back in 2 weeks. She said if I wanted to secure the room, I could send first month's rent and deposit through Venmo, and she'd mail me the keys. That should have been my first warning sign. But I was desperate. I had to be out of my temporary sublet in 10 days. I sent her $1,200. She confirmed receipt and said the keys would arrive in 3 to 5 business days. A week went by. No keys. I messaged her. She said there was a delay with the mail but they definitely arrived by the weekend. Weekend came. Still no keys. I called her. It went straight to voicemail. I started to panic. I messaged her repeatedly. No response. Finally, after 3 days of silence, she texted, "Hey, so sorry. There's been a problem with the apartment. The landlord is doing surprise renovations. You can't move in yet." I asked when I could move in. Not sure. Probably another month. I asked for my money back. Can't refund until the landlord refunds me. I knew immediately I'd been scammed. I went to the police. They took a report but said this kind of thing happens all the time and there's rarely enough evidence to prosecute. I looked at Taylor's Facebook profile again. Really looked this time. All her photos were tagged by other people, never posted by her. Her friend list was small. Maybe 50 people. I messaged some of them. Most didn't respond. One person did. She said, "I don't know anyone named Taylor. Why did you add me?" I sent her a screenshot of Taylor's profile. She replied, "That's not me." But the photos were of her. Someone had created a fake profile using this random woman's photos to scam people out of rent money. I never got my money back. I had to borrow from my parents to cover first month's rent at a new place. But the story doesn't end there. 3 months after I'd been scammed, I got a Facebook message from an account I didn't recognize. It was a photo of me, walking to my car outside my new apartment. The message said, "Found you." I reported it immediately, blocked the account, filed another police report. Nothing came of it. But every now and then I get a message from a new account. Always the same thing. A photo of me, going to work, at the grocery store, at the gym. And the same message, "Found you." I don't know who Taylor really is. I don't know why they're still following me. I don't know what they want. But I know that $1,200 wasn't what they were really after. They wanted something else. And I'm terrified that one day I'll find out what. These 4 stories have something in common. They all started with trust. Trust in a profile. Trust in a conversation. Trust in someone who seemed real. But online, anyone can be anyone. Photos can be stolen. Voices can be faked. Entire identities can be manufactured from nothing. And the people behind these fake profiles aren't always just looking for attention or money. Sometimes they're looking for something worse. If you're using dating apps, please be careful. Video calls can be faked. Profiles can be copied. People can lie about everything. Meet in public places. Tell friends where you're going. Trust your instincts, because the person on the other end of that conversation might not be who they say they are. And by the time you find out, it might be too late. Stay safe out there.